All right, folks. The show starts in three, two, one. This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast. All right, folks. This is Jonathan St. James, and once again, The Truth is Still Straight podcast. Okay, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Now, I am recording a little later than usual, though no one will notice because you're watching it at your own time. But it's currently at my time, 12:58 a.m., about to be 1 a.m. in the morning. The reason why I'm recording so late is because I previously recorded and got a copyright for a TLC video that I had reacted to. So I have to record all over again because 60% of the market, which is pretty much United States, I didn't realize I had international listeners. Perhaps they're bots, who knows? I'm not sure where they're from, but apparently there's some people from overseas that listen to the show. So apparently I had to re-record. So before we start, let me give a shout out to those who couldn't be here. That's Don Marie, Don M. Kane, Donnie St. James, and Jim. Boo. That's right. Boo, boo, boo. All right, folks. Also giving a shout out to those who support the show. That's Pedro Falcone, Tatiana Cruz, Lee, Tessie, Sister Millie from the West Coast, V, Mr. Wilkes, Mahir, Milton, Beverly, Snotty, Reggie, and Courtney, Claw, and maybe Tyrone. He may have unsubscribed, but I'm not sure. But thank you for those who support. Now, before I start the show, I do want to mention eventually the website will be posted on subsequent videos, but I do have merch now. I do have two of the items here today. I have a mug, which has my mug on there. Let me just move that tea bag because I do like to drink tea and coffee as well. But as you see, that's myself over there trying to get it out the light. Turn it over this side. You got the show's logo. That was designed by Donnie St. James and myself. So I have that. And secondly, I have a sweatshirt, t-shirts, and it has the local The Truth is Still Straight podcast on there. It's a good quality. I wore it already. Haven't worn it outside, but I tried it on. Quality is pretty good. And I want to thank Tatiana Cruz for being aside from myself so far, she was the first customer to purchase the merch. Thank you, Tatiana. Okay, so now we're going to get into this video. And this is from Sister Millie from the West Coast, who apparently doesn't like Kevin Samuels very much. So let me give her a boo for that. Just kidding, just kidding. That's okay if you don't like him. That's all right. So, but this video is a reaction video. So I'm reacting to a reaction video of Kevin Samuels because I couldn't find where this video was on. So we're going to see what she's saying. Clearly, she doesn't like what he's saying, but I will set the record straight. So let's roll that beautiful bean footage, as they like to say. Let me just turn the volume up because it is muted. Here we go.
You're unmarried. You are a leftover woman. A leftover woman. You are what is left. Men know that there's something likely wrong with you. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to just go there with you. I'm telling you the truth that you don't want to hear. Men know that there's something likely wrong with you. But you cannot be fit in an adjustable 6 or higher, 35, unmarried. Something wrong with you.
This is a certified hood classic.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt it there because she is going to go in on Kevin. So before we go further, let me explain what Kevin is saying there. Women tend to go on his show, 35 and above, asking for a high value man.
Oh, hell no.
And let's be honest, 35-year-old looking for a high value man, it's very hard to come by. Not saying it's impossible, but when you look at the requirements of the man they're looking for, not about to go down. So that's basically what he refers to every show that he does when he speaks about women. And he tries to let women know they should look for an average guy, but these women don't want average guys. So in 35 and you want excellence, your shot is not too great because one, percentage wise, is very low. Men are earning over six figures, not very high in America. So if you have a small amount of men earning a lot of money and you have a lot of women looking for a small amount of men, you put the age factor into it, doesn't bode very well for that woman when she's 35 and over. But now let's see. I'm pretty sure the woman has gotten triggered by what Kevin said and reacted blindly. So let's hear what she has to say.
Men like this want to make you feel like you're running out of time, because if you're desperate, you'll make a desperate choice. You won't take the time to wait for a man who'll give you princess treatment, who's a provider, who's done the work, who healed his trauma, who's patient, who's understanding, who's faithful. You won't wait for that man. You'll settle for any man who wants you, and that's where they want you. They want you in a desperate position so you can make a desperate choice.
So let me stop it there because, yeah, that's a little bit much over there. So I wanted to find, Stephen A. Smith is calling in to the show. Stephen A. Smith, what would you like to say to this woman in her initial reaction to this?
Stay off the weed.
Okay, here's my problem with what she said. Now, let me take this, slow it down. She's talking fast. She sounds angry. I don't know if she is angry. She's just doing this for dramatic effect. But the truth of the matter is, at 35 years old, how much more waiting are you doing? How much waiting are you doing? Because I actually looked on blackdemographics.com because we're talking about Black women. That's who Kevin Samuels really concerns himself with. So let me give you the breakdown of men to women throughout the ages. So under 18 is 49% to 51%. Women 49, men or boys, young men, young women, and 49 for the female or women, and 51% of the male or man or boy. 18 to 34 is even at 50 to 50. From 35 to 64 is 53 to 47. And 65 and over is 60 to 40. So when you're 35 to 64, there's 6% less men than women. So let's factor in sexual preferences, married, things like that. That percentage goes down. Of course, on the women's side as well, because I'm sure there's women who don't have sexual desires to be with men, but clearly it's not equal. So let's continue further. Now, let's go to, well, let's continue the video. Let's just do that. Let's hear her yell for a couple more seconds.
They hate the fact that women are looking so happy and they're thriving in their singleness. They're going on trips, booking vacations, buying their first home on their own.
First of all, that is, hold on. Let me see. I think we have Maury Povich here. Let's see what Maury Povich says there.
My detector test determined that was a lie.
Yeah. First of all, how does a man know what a woman is doing? I know plenty of women. If I'm not friends with them, I don't know what they're doing. So all the women out in the world is buying houses, going on trips, whatever it is. I don't know that they're doing that. So I can't be jealous, or I don't even know that they're doing these things. So that's a fallacy right there, because in order for you to be upset or bothered by it, you have to know that it's going on. And if we're talking about women that you're potentially going to be interested in, you don't know that they're doing that until you know that they're doing that. So if you meet a trip woman and she went on a trip, she already went on the trip. And if you're successful, why would you be upset that a woman is taking a trip? What does that have to do with you? So I don't agree with her on that, but let's continue.
Getting six-figure jobs, working on their fitness. They hate the fact that you look so happy in your singleness because they've convinced us for so many years that you needed a man. That was the only way for you to be successful, is if you had a man by your side. Forget the degrees, forget the money, forget all of that. If you're unmarried, what's wrong with you?
So let's dispute what she's saying there. There's some more issues with what she's saying. So here's the problem with that. Most women are not fit. We already know that. There's the average person in general is not in shape. Most people are overweight. I'm sorry to say. So that is a fallacy right there. So I don't know what percentage she's talking about. That's got to be a very small percent, because I've heard anywhere in the 70% that of women that are overweight or obese. So let's just go with that figure. It's more than 50 for sure. So if 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 women are in shape, 7 or 6 out of 10 are not. So that doesn't bode well. And let's go to what she said. Where is it? So Black women in America, according to blackdemographics.com, 75K and above is only 9%. And then from $50,000 to $74,999 is 17. So if you put those two together, that gives you 26%. So that's less than 3 out of 10 women who earn over $50,000. Not a lot of women. So 3 out of every 10. That's not a lot.
The answer could never be nothing. The answer couldn't be that she's patient. The answer couldn't be that she's waiting. The answer couldn't be that she refuses to settle. No, it's got to be something wrong with you. They have to sell you that narrative. That's the only way they succeed.
So now,
you're unmarried.
Let me
You're unmarried.
Stop that there, because it just restarted again. Not sure why that happened. But anyway, going back to that. So she has some valid points, but not in regards to what Kevin Samuels said. So there's nothing wrong with the woman wanting to do what's best for her. Nothing wrong with that. But the reality is your desirability is going to go down the longer you hold off finding a mate, a husband, whatever you want to call it. So I think there's two conflating arguments there that don't compare. It's the apples and the oranges, because he is always referring to high value men, not everyday men, because we know some of those guys, they'll take anything because they're beta, and they'll take any kind of woman. So he's not really referring to those guys. He's really referring to the high value men, because they tend to have more standards that are beneficial to them because they have the access to women, whereas average men do not. And we see this when we look at the best of them, which are celebrities, guys who are high earning, businessmen, and stuff like that. They have the access. Average man doesn't. That's why a lot of average guys go overseas to third world countries and look for women there, because it's easier to find than in the United States.
Aha!
All right, so I'm done with that video. Okay, I'm going to go to the next video, and that is going to be Kevin Samuels' reaction, and that's his video, not someone else's. And then that video is going to be single mother from down under has too many options. And this is a very important conversation to have. You're going to see how this, I'm going to try to play the whole thing. So forgive me if this video runs a little longer than usual, but the drama begins towards the end. But I would like to play that. So let's roll that footage. Oh, hold on. Let me start the audio.
It seems like it's more common nowadays, like girls are just okay with it. But from my own perspective, if I was 35 right now, I probably wouldn't want to share a man. And that's just the line.
Okay, you have any kids?
I do.
How many kids?
I have one.
How old?
He's 5.
So if you were over 35 with a 5-year-old, now you're 10 years old, and you wouldn't want to share a man, why should a man have to share his money with your kid?
Bruh.
That's fair, to say why would he have to share it? But if he wants me, then he would have to.
No, he don't. See, I'm not trying to be rude, but see, I think it's funny, especially single mothers, y'all vastly overestimate. Your sexual marketplace value is lower than it was when you started.
Got him.
All single mothers. So let's take this out of personal. Let's say you went to a store and something cost $300. And you only got $200 in your pocket. Would you walk in the store and try to buy that?
No.
That's what y'all try to do in the marketplace. You trying to get men who are like $500 and you got $250 worth of buying power. The older you get, do you think your sexual marketplace buying power increases or decreases?
Nope.
Obviously, it decreases.
All right, so that means you're going to have to be able to get less, right?
For majority of women, yes.
No, for all women. What makes you special?
It's not me necessarily, but there are women that's 35 years old who
No,
can.
I get him? Should I get him?
Okay, you're not going to realize that this video goes left until the end, but it really goes left. And she really builds up the confidence because she realized, and this is what a lot of women do, never fails. I think almost always they pivot from their conversation. So she is agreeable. And my initial video, I didn't see the end of this. So now I actually watched the end after I had finished the first recording, which I had to re-record, which is this. And then towards the end, she gets very, very confrontational in a non-threatening kind of way. But you'll see what I'm saying. So far, no comments other than you see it, you don't see it coming until the end. So I'll play a little bit more before I respond.
But see, what does that do? What does it have to do with you, though? That's that wanting to be right.
Well, if I want to talk about me, I feel like if I was 35 years old with a 10-year-old and I carry the way that I carry myself now, I don't think I would depreciate at all.
Oh, so you'd be the first female in history who wouldn't depreciate as she got older? How's that happen?
For me, it's because when you don't understand, like having a kid young and doing all those things and you start learning that stuff, basically growing, it's possible for you to still obtain a 6-figure man that's making $75,000 a year and who can afford that lifestyle for you.
Okay, a 6-figure man is making 100 and some odd thousand, not 75.
100. I'm sorry.
Right. I had stopped that earlier too, because her math was way off.
Stupid.
Like she was, clearly you got to take what she says with a grain of salt, because she's talking about 75,000 and she's talking about six figures. 75,000 is not 6 figures. So clearly something wrong with her math. But let's continue.
Oh, hell no.
No, but but older. What product on the market gains value with age and use?
Wine.
Not with use.
Oh my.
Well,
Not wine.
liquor.
Nope.
Anything that's how I feel. For me, like I said,
Hey,
for me personally.
Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
I smell
Black people used to think feelings and facts are different. And I'm gonna just tell you, I get tired of hearing Black women in particular because you're our women. I don't care about those other women as much as I care about Black women. I get tired of hearing Black women feel like because they don't feel like or they don't like something that they can dismiss the truth of it. If a non-Black woman were to say that, but you're mine, I gotta care that you don't understand that you can't just dismiss it because you don't like the way it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Understand that? We got far too many women who think like you, move like you, because the way you feel, you can just dismiss it. Well, then what man who shares your reflection feels the same way, that your value goes up as you get older?
Now I'm gonna stop it there real fast because I agree with him. You know, a lot of times women think that men are attracted to accomplishments, but why would a man be? What? I've never met a woman that said, "Oh, she's blah blah blah." Ooh, she had a PhD or an MD degree. Like, ooh, those are personal accolades for the individual. Status doesn't impress us to women because the first thing we notice in a woman is beauty. That's the first thing we notice. So if we notice beauty, what makes, I see that woman over there. Let me see her college transcript. Let me see her work ID. So a lot of women don't understand that men are not turned on or attracted or drawn to your status. They are drawn to your looks first and foremost, and your ability to get along with them. Yes, right answer. Number one, as a matter of fact. And Maury Povich says,
the lie detector test determined you are telling the truth.
thank you, Maury. But let's continue.
What men on the planet think that way?
They probably don't think that way. I'm not a man, so I don't know how a
Then
man
if men
thinks.
don't think that way, how are you going to force a man to accept it?
I'm not going to force him to accept
Exactly, because it won't work. So, ma'am, your value goes down whether you like it or not. Whether you think that you'll be more valuable 5 years from now with a 10-year-old, you're still a single mother. And and what does that
so
mean?
hypothetically,
That means it's not his child. That's all that means. It's not his child. Your child is a liability to another man, not an asset.
How dare you?
That's what she really wants to say to Kevin. But he's telling the truth. He's really telling the truth. I think she's listening. She sounds like she's giving him a chance of what he's saying, but she really isn't. The surprise is at the end. I initially misjudged this video and reacted too soon. So the greatest thing about this video is I had to record it over. So seeing it towards the end, it tells a whole different story. But she's off base, of course, and she wants to win the argument, which I didn't understand watching it the first time. She wants to win the argument. So, but she doesn't immediately reveal that she wants to win it. So you're going to see as this progresses, I should say, that she becomes more combative. But it's not initially made seen at this point in time.
okay, so go back to me. I'm okay with letting the dad have the child for me to
This is
start
a
over.
certified hood
I am
classic.
okay with that.
That
He
was a
can
hood
live
talk.
with his father and his father's wife, and they can be a happy family, and I'll get them on the weekends and holidays. That's fine with me. So that another man don't have to raise his child. I would never put my child off on another man.
Okay, but
Nope.
He has an active father in his life.
listen. While that is something that most women would not do, the fact that you still had a child means your womb has been used.
Mm-hmm.
You have risked your life to clone another person. That matters to us as men. So it still lowers your value. I'm still trying to understand why you think your value won't go down, and you haven't made a compelling case.
Nope.
Again, I've always been fit, but I wasn't friendly. I wasn't cooperative. I wasn't all those things that you say a woman should be, what a man looks for. And so for me, as I get older, I am becoming more fit, friendly, compromised, and understanding, and being that piece that a man is looking for.
Right.
So
But
that's
what you're doing though, ma'am, is you're evaluating the market by comparing yourself today to yourself yesterday.
And that's true. And that's why I want to say this, a good answer. Kevin makes a whole lot of sense in that point, because the truth of the matter is men don't know you from yesterday. They know you from the moment that they met you. Now, unless they've known you for 10 years or who knows how long, but they don't have any idea what you used to be versus who you are now. So the only thing they have to go by is how you interact with them now. So less disagreeable now doesn't mean that you're not disagreeable or not hard to get along with. It just means that you're less. And that's really the point that he's trying to say. And why should they care how you've grown? Because they weren't there for the growth. All they know is that you're older in age and you have some red flags that would be of concern to them. And that's the point that he's trying to make there. No other point that he's trying to make other than the fact that there are some red flags that you have to look out for, and most likely he would be looking out for that. So that's the point that he's making.
Message.
Let's continue.
Okay, you're comparing yourself to, I'm better than I was, right?
right.
But the market is much bigger than you, man.
That's true also.
The market is thousands and thousands of women who some were worse than you, some who are far better.
That's true.
A man gets to pick one. And if you had the choice to pick one, you're going to get the best you can, not the one that was better than she was. You're going to get the best.
That's true.
Well, if you talking about this generation, shoot, I'm damn near the best. With a kid.
No, you're not. I talk to women every day, man. I mean,
So I
think that's arrogant for you to say, because where do you live?
Well, right now I'm in Australia.
Okay. Due respect, ma'am, I talk to women worldwide for the last, your attitude is not even right, man.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So what I'm saying is, this is the arrogance of the modern female.
Facts.
Yep.
That's facts. Yeah, she definitely, as you see, she becomes very emboldened with Kevin, and she becomes very combative, and she starts the sign language, which is shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. That shows up very soon at the end of this video.
I feel like y'all can just do whatever and say whatever, and it's always gonna be good. But if it was all that, why didn't the man you made a baby with put a ring on your finger?
He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
That was his decision not to.
Or then why would you make a decision to have his baby?
Remember, she said that.
See? That's what men
Again,
do.
the things that I had to learn.
No, you didn't have
Those
to learn.
are things I wasn't taught, you know.
Ma'am, you live in the West. In the West, it is well known that you should get married before you have a baby.
Facts.
That's not new news.
Facts.
You chose to make. Y'all chose to have sex.
Facts.
But women pay a higher price in sex than men because you risk pregnancy, and you can't undo that. And you can't act like it didn't happen, and you can't act like that it doesn't matter. It matters to men.
Mm-hmm.
And if he chose not to marry you, what kind of signal does that send to the next man? Because you gave a man the highest gift you can give any man, and you didn't require marriage. So this is why I tell women you don't typically get higher than your baby daddy, because that's where you set your price. Your baby daddy is your price.
That's fact.
And it only goes down.
It figures, and if we wanted to get married, we could, but we would have to take our time over again.
Your baby daddy making six figures, that's fine, ma'am, but
what is wrong with this lady? like something dropped on her head or something. She's all over the place. I don't know if you heard, because originally she was saying that she would send her child to go to his father and his wife. Then she's saying that she can get married to him. They just got to take their time. So clearly she's beginning to personalize this discussion to where she feels an offense. And unfortunately, Kevin is going to tell her,
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
so let's continue.
It matters about character and all those other things too. He didn't marry you, right? You didn't want to marry you.
Nope.
Again, I didn't understand that I should have prioritized marriage.
I get it.
Understand that now.
I get it. And what I'm saying is, to women, I'm talking to you, and I'm also talking through you. This is why it would be so much better for most of you ladies to just go finish the families you started. Because whatever you're saying, man, matters to you and that child's father. To the random man in the sexual marketplace, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. To a random man in the street, in the marketplace, it doesn't matter a goddamn thing. I'll put her interview back up, but they can hear it on Instagram. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
You're coming to a man and saying, hey, Roger, I'm better today than I was. And Roger's like, shit, I just met you today. All I'm judging on is today. But then he's gonna say, well, let me look at your history, just like any other employer. Okay, you had a job that you was fired from.
Yeah.
Now that job cost you your future. It cost you this, but you got fired from it, or you didn't get promoted at that job. Why'd you give all this stuff to that job and they didn't promote you? Then you come into, and you want me to come over, you want me to pay you more? No. We're gonna pay you what you got paid back there. Because you did it over there, you did that job over there for less money and you worked harder. You ain't gonna come to me 10 years later asking for more money. You're gonna get less money because you've already set the market. And that's the point I'm trying to get ladies to understand. Your child's father sets the market for you.
Facts.
And unfortunately, you don't get to move that number around just because because you're better than you were. That's what I see the danger with Sierra's prayer and all that stuff, because it makes women think that, well, I can do better. No, that's not how that typically happens. And how we got here, folks, is the whole notion of sharing a man. And I guess why I'm having this conversation is to let ladies understand that the more stuff you have on your resume, the more you're gonna have to.
Now this lady's cracking me up over here on the bottom. I don't know if you noticed, she's gonna start to sexify herself. Like she got that jacket over the shoulder. Not that this has anything to do, but I just can't. I just started to notice her. I'm like, you're gonna see she's gonna have a little bit of leg. She's gonna be showing a little bit more cleavage and stuff like that. So I thought it was interesting. And this is definitely
this is a certified hood classic.
But I really think at this point that Kevin should just cut the video short, but declare there's more time left. But he should tell her.
That's why you would buy a dog and die alone.
Yeah, because she's talking about getting
I'm a PhD.
Yeah, but not yet. But I think she's on the way. But anyway, this lady you'll see she's starting to become undone, and whatever civility she has, she's gonna become very smart remarked. You'll see shortly it's about to go down. Get your tax.
The more you're gonna have to share, the more shit you're gonna have to potentially put up with. And a lot of women don't like that. So let me go ahead and unmute you. Do you have anything else you want to say, ma'am? I don't want
see that leg.
Say.
See that leg?
You're 30 right now, right?
27.
No, I'm 27. You're talking to me, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm 27, but I guess my problem
27.
is not necessarily the type of man to get. It's about getting the man to commit, because I've had several guys who make good money. They have their own. They don't have children. They never been married. That really would love to be with me, but it's about the commitment. How do I get that man to say, okay, this is who I want, because I'm honestly scared to just go out.
So I want to stop it there because you got to see how this turns. So you hear what she said. So that the narrative is going to change so fast in a couple of minutes because she's going to go from what she said about getting that man to commit to saying something else. And, you know, The Rock wanted to respond something to what she said.
It doesn't matter what you think.
So you're going to find out real fast how this story changes. And yeah.
Out there and just be like, give him all of me, because I know I have a kid.
Listen.
Okay, I'm confused. You said, how do you get a man to commit to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, because for me, I have several guys who they make good money, they have their own, but
stupid.
Well, how do you choose? Which one do you choose? Do you date all of them at the same time?
So
proposed marriage.
Something happened.
Hold on. They haven't. None of them proposed because.
So what are you choosing from?
Which one do you give your time to see if that's the person?
Well, okay, you're confusing me because you're saying you have men.
Okay, let me just give you an example.
Hold on, you're saying you have men and you keep saying their money, so I guess they're a certain caliber. But you're saying they want you, but what if they proposed?
As far as marriage, they haven't proposed.
Then how do you know they want you?
They communicate with me.
So you see how that changed, right? First she said, how do I get a man to commit? And then she's saying, well, now I got to figure out how I'm going to commit to a man because so many want me. That's not what she said at first. So you see how she needed to be right.
Oh my.
And of course, she's going to start talking more slick to Kevin. So let's continue.
They want to take me out on dates. They want to get to know me.
That's the link. Okay. You ladies often read stuff into men. If a man wants you, he's going to tell you what he wants you for.
Mm-hmm. Moving the goalposts.
Do you make room for the fact that they only want you for this? To date and have fun?
No, they all would love to marry, but they have to get to know you first.
What do you mean they all would love to marry? How can you say that?
Because they say it.
They say they want to marry you or they want to be married?
They would marry me. That's my baby daddy lost is what they say.
I'm not talking about your baby daddy. But you talk about these other two men.
Why didn't he marry you? That's his loss.
Hold on.
But see, here you see what I'm saying? Because she says she could get married to her baby's father. But now she's saying that's his loss. She's all over the place. And I think the problem is here that she doesn't want to look bad in the end of this video. And I think she started, and I of course, this is all speculation. I don't know for fact, but I just think she didn't want to look bad in the video and it became personal to her. So she had to defend herself and then everything started changing. She said she could marry her baby's father. They wanted to marry him. And then she's saying these guys said that it was his loss, that he didn't want to marry you. So there's a sort of a conflict that she has created in this video. And I don't even think she realizes it.
I listen really well. I'm not talking about your child's father. You said you have other men who want to marry you.
Who would love to, yes.
And how do you know they want to marry you? What exactly have they said?
So I have one guy who says, I've been knowing you for a long time. We take our time. One day you will be my wife, but we have to take our time.
Oh, the deception, the betrayal, man, you deceived me.
So here's why I think she's lying.
I smell cap.
Because she said that about the baby's father. If you listen to early in the video, she said she could get married to her child's father, but they would have to take their time. And anyway, let's get that.
How long have you known this man?
12 years.
That's called game. I mean, goddamn, ma'am, you known him for 12 years. Have y'all been intimate?
No.
He don't want you. Man, 12 years, how much, I mean, just take it away from you. Does that even sound reasonable? We need to take our time.
Nope.
How much time you need?
Okay, it sounds reasonable when you're young,
good. She
and
getting
I'm like,
excited.
No. You're the one that's confused. I'm trying to help you. When did people take 12 years to get to know each other 75, 80 years ago?
Exactly. And Kevin, she looks like she about to tell you.
Catch me outside. How about that?
I'll tell you.
okay, so let's slow down.
Check it. See how
right?
she getting upset? You see it?
Let's slow down. What?
Let's slow down, because when he says, I want you to still live your life, I feel like it's selfish of me to try to take that away from you. You're in college, you're young, I'm an older male. I don't want to take your youth away from you. That's selfish, is what it says. That's very selfish on my part. Now that I'm older, he's a little bit more aggressive with letting me know, hey, I want to be with you. You're the person that I want. But
This
now
is
it's
a
like,
certified
I got all
hood
these other
classic.
options.
Who got all these other options?
Me. Even after a baby.
Uh-huh.
I'll make you famous.
I believe you believe that, man, but it don't sound like you. It sounds like there are all these good companies out here, and they let you take a tour of the plant. They let you take a tour of the office. You got an offer letter.
Stupid.
You got a physical offer letter from any of these companies.
Nope.
Got the keys to the crib.
So now here's where she played herself. You heard all that? So whoever that guy is, you claim you got the keys to the crib, he's an idiot. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you hear playing his name to play a game. So you're talking about you want to choose, you don't know who you want to choose between these few men, but yet you got the keys to somebody's house.
Bruh.
That makes no sense at all. And you sound really stupid for even saying that. I don't know why she can get up here and embarrass herself. And I don't know what kind of guy she has the keys to his crib, because it would be me. If I saw this video, she would definitely be moving out of my place, been taking the keys and getting her out of there, because she has no respect for that guy. Exactly. Let's continue.
The answer was, do you have a physical offer letter? Engagement ring.
No.
Drop to one knee. Then you ain't got shit except game.
Okay, your opinion.
Young lady at the bottom, do you have a different opinion? That's why you smiling, because apparently she's not hearing me. Maybe she'll hear you.
She
What
ain't
do
gonna
you
say
think?
nothing. She's scared. She don't want to get flipped.
I don't really want to say much, but it's just a lot.
She don't want to say much because she don't want to hurt your feelings. But every time I make a point, she's smiling. You're the only one that's not seeming to pick it up, man. Man, 12 years. A man has known me for 12 years, and you got the baby. He ain't had sex with you, whatever. And then you got all these other men. Well, if that's the case, ma'am, if that's the case, you should never have to settle for anything. Matter of fact, you got a baby dad that want to marry you. You got this guy and that guy. You're down in Australia with dingoes and cherokees. But it sounds to me like you full of shit. So like to me, you live in a fantasy world to where you're the star of your own show. And the sad part is, when this movie is over, there ain't gonna be no sequel.
I don't want a sequel.
Good, die alone.
So as you can see, and that's the end of the video there. You can see she was capping towards the end there. And then a lot of women do that. I guess she got embarrassed or something like that. She just kept changing the story, and that happens quite often. So, yeah. Well, I don't know where we go from that in terms of what I could possibly say, but it is time for the braces. Relationship braces. Bringing hearts together, one heart at a time. 27-year-old mother, living down under. What can I tell you to get you on the right path? to finding that husband to settle down with, lady. Okay, here are the braces. Truth be told, lady, what you want is not impossible. So, with all that cap you got going on, you can actually find the man that you want. Most women can't. They just choose not to. Why do they choose not to? Because the first thing they don't do is make themselves available to the man that they would like. And you know he's out there. But you'd rather play a game of chase than let a guy know that he can approach you. And when you do that, the problem with that is the guys that you are interested in that are not, they're not looking for you. They're looking for this. So they're looking to attack you like prey. So if you don't make yourself available to the guy that you want, those sharks will be out there after you, and you won't like what place they leave you in after they're done. So the best way to do that, you don't have to chase a man. You don't have to ask him out. All you have to do is give him the opportunity to speak with you and build his confidence in terms of approaching you. Because a real good man, if he's not playing with the game, he'll keep on going. So give him an opportunity to level the playing field. You don't have to tell him you're interested. All you have to do is be available. Talk to him, open yourself to his presence, and allow things to flow from there. If he's really interested in you, he'll make a move when he feels comfortable, because it's about the confidence. So keep that in mind. And with that, those are the braces. And with that being said, the show is now finished. This is Jonathan St. James. And once again, the Truth is Still Straight podcast. Until next time.